This situation with Deshaun Watson, if you don't know it, here are the details. Deshaun Watson is a multimillionaire NFL quarterback. And Deshaun is a guy who likes to get massages. Well, apparently, if you believe at least two masseuses who are on the record in civil lawsuits with the same Texas attorney, who says he is going to file up to 4 civil lawsuits on behalf of masseuses against Deshaun Watson. Deshaun will invite masseuses in one instance to a hotel where he will get naked and refuse to wear any kind of blanket or towel on a massage table. And, I will tell you now, this is a little more graphic than we are used to being on this show. But in the complaint, in the civil suit, one of the masseuses claims that Deshaun Watson will constantly prod you to move your hand to his genitals, both front and back, if you know what I mean. And when the masseuse refused, he moved his body to make contact with his genitals and her hand. And she is suing him now for sexual assault during that massage. It's not 1 anymore, it's 2. Mm-hmm. And if you believe this Houston attorney, it's going to be 4.
Yeah.
Where do you come down on this with Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, well, now it's a little more credible because there's more than just one person. When it's one person just making allegations, it's one thing. But I think when you start getting to 2, 3, and 4 people with separate instances, but all pretty much the same, there is more credibility to it. Now again, I'm going to maintain that I'd love to see something more than allegations. I'd love to see anything. The problem with this is that the complaints allege that they were in a hotel room that Deshaun Watson picked out. In one instance, he flew one girl out from Atlanta to the hotel he was staying at, the Houstonian. And, it just makes it a very murky situation. So if you're Deshaun, you're in the middle of this battle with Houston, and you're trying to get out of Houston. You're trying to go play for another organization, and now you have this come up. Part of me, when it's one person, part of me says, okay, Houston could be involved. But now that it's 4, it kind of starts looking a little different. So where I come down on it, there's still no proof. This is all allegations. But at the same time, as an athlete, it just makes you look bad. As you said, it really does not do good things for him as a person or for his career. So I don't know, man. It's kind of a very... It's very murky. And what I mean by murky is just that you have people making allegations, no proof, allegations. But they all say the same thing. It's 4 different people at this point. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to believe one way or the other, I guess.
Here's my issue, though. And we just talked about this, I think, yesterday or the day before.
Mm-hmm.
You're young, you're rich, and you can have any woman in the world.
Yeah.
So you fly in a masseuse from Houston, if you believe the allegations. You choose to fly in a woman from Houston and force her hand onto your genitals after you refuse to cover yourself in a massage.
Because you say that you get hot quickly.
Yeah, he told the masseuse, I can't wear a towel or a blanket because I get hot easily. That's according to the complaint. And I read the complaint. The lawyer posted it online. I read the complaint. And it straight up says that he forced his genitals into her hand.
Yeah.
He grabbed her by the arm, allegedly, and put his essence in her hand.
Right.
You're young, you're rich, you're an NFL player. They know you're an NFL player. They know you're young. They know you're rich.
Mm-hmm.
A, with all due respect, he's a target.
Yeah.
B, you're paying somebody you believe, if you think she is going to give you, a happy ending?
Apparently.
You're paying a sex worker, or who you perceive to be a sex worker, right? Why? I'm just curious. Why? What are you doing? What are you doing flying in a masseuse? I'm sorry. Houston is a large metropolitan area.
Yeah.
There's no massage therapist. There's no masseuse. Oh, wait, that's right. You don't want a massage. You want sex.
Yeah.
You want sexual acts performed on you. You want to pay for sex in a hotel room So you flew a woman from Atlanta to Houston, got a hotel suite, and then got impatient and allegedly sexually assaulted her.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know, man. These guys make really dumb decisions constantly. You're a premier quarterback in the NFL. You can literally have anything you want, and you go and do this. And I just don't get it. I don't understand why guys can't just continue to do their thing. Why can you not continue to work out, keep your body in shape? Stay prepared for when the NFL season does come back around. You can't. You're telling me you don't have women just fawning over you in your 6'5" frame. A totally shredded body. You can't find somebody who wants to do that stuff with you. No, it's that you have an issue and you need to call somebody and you need to make it feel weird like that apparently or whatever. I don't know. I just think that these guys, it's either boredom or I don't know. You can't rationalize the irrational, as I say. So I don't really know why he did this. If he did it, again, I think we need to keep saying if because we don't know if it actually happened. Again, it's all allegations, so I don't believe it's fair to just assume that he did this. But it is concerning. I mean, when you have 4 people coming out of the woodwork saying the same thing in their 4 different instances, it's concerning. So I don't know. I don't know where this goes, man. I don't know if he just puts this to bed by paying them all or what, but it's not a good look, especially when you're trying to do what he's trying to do.
What I'm saying is this is a crime. And it's more believable now because it sounds like something thirsty dudes would do.
Mm-hmm.
And if this actually happened, and I'm trying to be measured, because we don't know if it happened or not. But if he pays out of this lawsuit, if he buys his way out of it, I will view Deshaun Watson as a sexual predator. Because I believe that's what he is. And when you pay women for sex during a massage, and you're a millionaire, and you have everything to gain by just waking up every morning and everything to lose by paying for a rub and tug, you're just not very intelligent. You're not real smart. And that means Deshaun Watson can't be on my football team.
Right.
It means that I do not respect him as a man or a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really unfortunate. And the idea that you are a sexual predator, it infuriates me.
Yeah, I mean it's classic NFL, right? I mean this is nothing new for the NFL. This is nothing surprising. This is nothing that we haven't heard before. And it's so funny. And I think this is what you were just alluding to. Like we talk about it all the time on the show. Whether it was Tiger Woods in the crash, whether it was any of these, any person you wanna look to that was famous and affluent and athletes or politicians or whatever. These guys just can't help themselves, and it's just amazing to me that we constantly are having to talk about this. It seems like twice a month. It feels like there's always something coming out about how this player or that player or this executive. I mean, look at the Mickey Callaway situation in baseball. I mean, look at any of these different situations that we see, and what do we come to find? It doesn't matter if you're white or black or Asian or whatever. These guys, if they've got money, if they're a celebrity, they're going to make mistakes, and these mistakes are you. It's not like you're making some like little mistake. I mean, you're essentially borderlining on raping people right now. I mean, that's what this is. You're borderline. If it goes one step further and you force her down and you do what you want to do, that's raping her. Like that's what we're talking about here. So yeah, I hope for his sake that he doesn't pay out of this. I hope that he forces it to go through the process, and I hope that he's found innocent. But when it's 4 people, that adds a hell of a lot more credibility to it than one person.
Now, I also want to put this side of it out. This attorney, by some reports, used to be the neighbor of the late Bob McNair, who I believe was a racist, and talked about how, he made the infamous inmates comment like Bob McNair had issues. He used to be the owner of the Texans. Deshaun Watson is now dealing with his son, Cal McNair, and they don't have a good relationship. And Deshaun Watson has stopped returning, allegedly, if you believe reports, is not communicating with the Texans, has stopped returning their calls, and has made it known that he will not be showing up in camp. And he wants a trade. So you're telling me that Bob McNair's former neighbor, that by some accounts he was friends with, all of a sudden came up with 4 women to smear Deshaun Watson? Because as plausible as it is that Deshaun Watson actually did what these women are alleging he did, it's also as plausible and maybe a little more plausible that there is an effort underway, and it would have to be a conspiracy.
Yep.
There would be multiple parties involved creating a scenario where Deshaun Watson's a sexual predator.
Right.
It's also just as plausible and probably a little more plausible that the McNairs could be possibly, potentially out to, cut the knees out of Deshaun Watson's credibility. And how dare you do this, Deshaun Watson? Demand a trade? Oh, okay, well, let's see how we can undermine that. I think that's why I said, I can see a situation where this actually happened, where Deshaun Watson, it's hard for me to even say it. I've never viewed him like this.
Well, and that's what's working for him. You would never have a reason to view him like this because he's literally there's never been anything. Not even in his college days. Like a lot of these guys, like I said yesterday, think about it. Think about the Kareem Hunts of the world, or think about, any of these guys who have done dumb things, who have put themselves in that light. It wouldn't be surprising if tomorrow we found a story that Kareem Hunt, committed more domestic violence or, did something against a woman based on that video
Jake,
that we had.
Here's the problem. And Deshaun Watson's never going to see this show. He didn't even know we're alive.
Right.
But if Deshaun Watson were listening to this right now, Deshaun, did you really, let's say you didn't sexually assault anybody. Did you really fly a woman from Atlanta to Houston, get a hotel suite, and get a massage in a hotel suite with a woman you flew in from Atlanta? Because I got to believe that on a baseline, that happened. My opinion would be that happened. Because think about it. There's airfare, there's credit card bills, there's hotel bills. This would be pretty easy. If he hadn't flown a woman from Atlanta to Houston and didn't have a hotel room at the Houstonian hotel, this would be easily debunked.
Yeah, but
my guess is that happened.
Well, it did happen. They wouldn't be reporting it if it didn't happen.
But no. My guess is it actually happened that he flew a woman from Atlanta to Houston, got a hotel room, got a massage.
Right.
Now, the part we don't know is, do we actually believe that he sexually assaulted somebody? I don't know. My question is, if he sexually assaulted you, why didn't you go to the cops? Okay, well, it's Deshaun Watson. I'm a young woman. I'm not from here. I'm just going to go back to Atlanta and go about my life. Okay. So see, I can see both sides of it. But Deshaun, let's break this down. What the fuck were you thinking? How about in just plain English? Flying a woman from Atlanta to Houston. You're rich, you're young, you're black, you're attractive, you have everything going for you. You own the world. You own the world. And then you made a decision to fly a woman from Atlanta to Houston. Let's suppose you did nothing wrong. And he's out saying he did 100%, this is bullshit, I didn't do it.
Right.
Okay, cool. Let's assume you did nothing wrong. You're absolutely at fault here.
Yeah, you did everything wrong here.
You are absolutely at fault here, my man, because you put yourself at risk. You are a target. Let me say it again. You're young, you're rich, you're black, you're attractive. You're a quarterback in the NFL. You're a target. So when you flew that woman from Atlanta to Houston and then got a hotel room, right there, you put yourself at risk.
Yeah.
This is your fault. You exposed yourself, figuratively, you exposed yourself to a lot of liability and a lot of risk. Did we learn nothing from Kobe Bryant? Did we learn nothing out of all of these situations where young, powerful, rich, influential people made decisions based on sex and got screwed in the end for it, literally and maybe figuratively? Did you learn nothing?
Apparently not.
This is dumb. So now, by extension, here's where the conversation has to go. Who's advising you? Where's your no guy? Because it sounds like maybe you're hiding this part of your, if this is true, if you're getting massages in hotel rooms with women you flew in, you're a sexual deviant, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're hiding that part of your life from people. That's an indicator you have a problem.
Yeah.
Okay? Where's your no guy? Who's in your life that's saying, no, Deshaun, we're not doing that? Right? Like, are you girlfriended? Are you married? Like,
doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't seem like it.
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Deshaun Watson, whether you did this or not, whether you are guilty or innocent, and frankly, at this point, I don't know. But Deshaun, let me take you at your word. You're 100% innocent of sexually assaulting anybody. You're guilty as hell, my friend.
You're guilty of being a freaking moron.
What are you doing? Where is your life? What are you doing? You need a no man. You need somebody to say to you, hey, we're not doing this, right? And frankly, if you're an athlete, black, white, whatever, if you're an athlete, if you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, please don't pay for sex. Don't do that. You cannot tell me that you haven't learned from any of these situations.
But if he did this, he didn't. Like, that's just as simple as it is. If this is true that he did this, he didn't learn. Like,
yeah, let me get some comments in here because there's a lot of people. Commenting. Eric and Raleigh, good morning to you. He says, where there's smoke, there's fire. This is what happens when you don't get told no because your athletic ability. Thank you. I agree with you, obviously. And you can never underestimate billionaires who have been told no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I would have no problem believing that the McNairs are involved in this somehow, some way.
Yeah.
If that comes out, and it's going to be very difficult to prove, by the way, but if it ever comes out that the McNairs are involved in this, that would not surprise me at all. Sean, good morning to you. He says, morning, guys. Yeah, it's definitely not looking good. The fact that they just came out now is suspicious, but not looking good. Wait, it's 4? I know of 2. The lawyer that is got these 2 women is representing them, says there's 4 total. That
There's
he'll be
2 more
filing
coming.
4 lawsuits. There's 2 more coming.
And he says that's the total number. That there won't be more than that, but it's 4 total, and 2 are filed already. Yeah.
And the problem with this is Sean's last comment. If you go to the cops, who do you think they believe? Do they believe the woman or do they believe the NFL player with millions of dollars?
No, I guess not.
Yeah. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Like we have this situation, not to, go too far here. This situation in Atlanta with the shootings at the massage parlors.
Man, this just gets worse and worse every day, dude.
So we have 8 people, 6 of them are Asian women.
Yep.
The cop who is leading this investigation, the sheriff, says that the guy who did the shootings had a bad day. Okay, you're an idiot. Oh, wait, but then we find out that the cop also, he's a racist. He had some racist anti-Asian photos on his Facebook page. So wait, you have 6 murdered Asian women and the guy who murdered them allegedly just had a bad day. Okay, cool. Let's move on with our lives. There's no hate crime here. The problem is the women are not believed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a young woman, and again, I'm not saying Deshaun Watson did any of this, empathize with this woman for a minute.
Yeah.
She is in a different city. She chose to take an airline ticket from Deshaun Watson, and allegedly he booked these massages through his official Instagram account. Not smart.
Dude. Dude.
Because, again, paper trail.
Bro.
He booked these massages through his Instagram account. So Deshaun Watson's reached out to you on Instagram, pays an airline ticket, flies you to Houston from Atlanta, and allegedly, and Deshaun Watson is being accused of putting his genitals in her hand.
Yes.
So Deshaun Watson has forced his genitals, his penis, into your hand. You're in a different city that you don't know. This is the starting quarterback of the Houston Texans. You're going to go to the cops? Somehow I don't think that's what a woman would do. Because I think in our culture, rape is largely acceptable.
Yeah.
And I think if you're an individual woman going up against a rich starting quarterback in the NFL, you don't feel like you have much of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're sitting around, and all of a sudden you hear about this lawsuit being filed against Deshaun Watson for sexually assaulting a masseuse.
And by the way, they are asking for 6 figures in settlement.
Oh, no, I thought it was millions. They were asked.
On ESPN, they were just showing his comments, and maybe they revised the settlement after he denied it. The first settlement was for 6 figures, apparently.
They're asking for a lot of money.
Yeah.
And my point is, whether you're at fault or not, Deshaun Watson, you're at fault here.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You put yourself in a horrible position. The idea that you would do this through your own Instagram account is just stupid.
Not smart.
I mean, just one of the worst things that you can do. We're going to get to a story later in the show about what Instagram is doing to kind of curb this kind of thing. But the idea, I just really can't understand it. I really can't level with it. Whether Deshaun did this or not, you're an idiot, because this whole situation would not be in existence if some form or fashion of the story wasn't true. So I'm with you. I do think that he probably flew these women out. I do think that happened, but I think it's a big time reach to say that he sexually assaulted these people. Because this story, because you're right, they would have to have tickets, they'd have to have all this stuff backing it up.
There's a paper trail here.
To bring, that's what you have to understand. You can't just like create a suit out of nothing. You have to have like, hey, paper trail that shows he DM'd her on Instagram, then set up the flight, then probably emailed her boarding pass and all that good stuff.
A+B equals C equals
and now
lawsuit.
The problem is that there's no video. There's no video of this. Like, not to compare this to the Bob Kraft thing, but at least in the Bob Kraft case, there was tape. Like, we knew
he is on tape walking in, and the law enforcement had video of him receiving service.
Yeah,
and he never denied that Bob Kraft, for the record, never denied that he received service at this massage parlor. His whole thing was, you don't know how to fill out paperwork.
This is a code 10 abort.
Right? So my point with Deshaun is, I just want you to be better than this.
I would expect you to be better than this, dude.
I want these lawsuits to be complete scams. I want these lawsuits to be complete scams.
Yeah.
The problem is, it's almost impossible for them to be complete scams. Because, to your point again, if you walk into court, you file this is a civil case, by the way. So Deshaun's not looking at jail time, or he's probably not going to lose his career. Deshaun Watson's looking at an incredible financial loss of reputation, a loss of respect around the league and around the world. This guy's gold before this happened.
Yeah.
My point is, when you walk into court, you're going to have subpoenaed credit card records. Yeah. You're going to have subpoenaed Instagram records. You're going to have subpoenaed receipts and invoices from hotels.
Come on, your man. Whole life is going to be shown.
By the way, he paid these women, I would assume. Mm-hmm. So did you Venmo them?
No, so
did you give them cash?
So, but that's the other part of the story too. That the other small detail of the story. So the story goes that the masseuse is giving him a massage, right? And then he takes it to the next level, does all the crazy stuff. She bounces out. She says, "Hey, I got to get to the airport. I'm leaving. This is crazy." He did not pay her the full session, which is where
correct. But he paid her.
Yeah,
he paid her. So there's a record of him paying her.
Somewhere there is.
Yeah. But he also, and this is the other thing that's scary, She claims that when she went to leave, he grabbed her hand, which is where it really gets scary. So my point is there's a massive paper trail here.
Yeah.
This cannot be completely fabricated. Yeah. There's no way it's completely fabricated. It's just not possible. So Deshaun Watson, you're just not smart. It's incredibly disappointing. By the way, Eric and Raleigh says, why is the lawyer giving interviews about filing lawsuits?
He's not really giving interviews.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, it should be said that the lawyer representing the women said that they were not going to disclose all the info, and basically what he said is we're not going to try this case in the press. But it is public knowledge, and it is
when you file a lawsuit,
yeah,
it's in black and white.
Yeah.
And real quick before we move to actual free agency, I just want to say, again, this is what pornography does to people. Mm-hmm. My guess is, and I'm totally guessing, this is my opinion, but most times men who do the things that Deshaun Watson are accused of are voracious pornography consumers. Mm-hmm. And we just talked about this yesterday with the pornography ban here in Utah and the merits of that ban and the whys and the hows of that ban. I will again repeat my mantra that pornography is the great destroyer of men. It creates unreal expectations that men should get happy endings at every massage. And it creates unreal expectations that Asian women do nails and massages, and when they're done, they give you a happy ending. That's the stereotype that is at play here. And I get it. Hey, if you're a single guy, well, okay, I know you have needs. But I'm imploring you not to watch pornography on a regular basis. Yeah. I'm telling you, it changes the chemical reactions in your brain. The science is on paper. It is real. Pornography does bad things to your brain. And especially in young people. And my guess is that Deshaun Watson, nobody says no to guys like that.
No.
And so you wind up in situations, and think about some of the names that we think about here. Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. Bill Clinton. John Kennedy.
Donald Trump.
I mean, the list of rich, powerful, affluent men
Tiger
Woods, who have fallen at the feet of sex, who have allowed their sexual deviance or their appetite for sex to bring them down is remarkable.
Yeah. And I think the only other thing I would say is there was a comment about rich white dudes in the NFL or billionaires, guys who just aren't athletes or anything. They just have money. Robert Kraft, a perfect example. Those guys didn't get there by accepting no. Ben Roethlisberger, exactly. Those guys didn't get to where they're at by accepting no. And the problem is that no in business is different than no in a massage parlor, And it's just really disappointing. Like, if this comes out that he actually did this, and I agree, you're guilty if you pay these people off, you're admitting guilt. Deshaun Watson's a hero to kids, man. Like, Deshaun Watson is a guy who's been a great story, somebody that I've loved, and it's terrible. It's disappointing.